Okay, so this is my first attempt at vlogging. I thought I would try and keep a record of what it's going to be like living apart from my husband for 2 years with 6 children, our 6 children with me. My husband's in the Navy, and because of our son's health, we decided that it would not be best to move him away from the largest support system that he has, which is um, my family up in Northeast Texas. So we're in the process of buying a house up there, and the kids and I will move, and he will be stationed in Norfolk for 2 years. I don't know when we'll get to see him, if we'll get to see him. There's a lot of unknowns. He's never done a ship tour before. It's always been subs and IAs and just different things like that. But I mean, we've done deployments before, 4 months here, 6 months there, sometimes longer, sometimes less. Um, I mean, 14 years in the Navy, it's bound to happen. But I thought I'd share with you about our first day without Daddy. Our kids are 13, 11, 9, wait, yes, 9, 6, 4, and 3. I think that's all 6 of them. It's been a long day. But we got to say goodbye twice because he was supposed to fly out yesterday, and there was a screw up with the government travel agency that was supposed to take care of all of his travel arrangements. There was a screw up with that. Sorry. There was a screw up with that, so we had to come home last night, and we did get to spend another night together, but we got up at like 4:30, and the kids were all asleep, and snuck out the door, and took him to the airport. Delta was really nice. They let me have just a gate pass so that I could sit with him until it was time for him to go, and that was really nice just to have those few minutes alone with each other. We spent the last, couple weeks trying to get him to spend one-on-one time with each kid, doing something special and different with each one of them to make one final memory before he's gone, and that went pretty well, but it unfortunately didn't leave a whole lot of time for me. Plus, I'm trying to get us ready to move in the next 2 weeks and to the new house, closer to family, and there's just not a whole lot of me time, so I thought I'd start this vlog as a way of kind of, I don't know, letting family and friends, maybe even other Navy spouses, know what's going on when you have 6 kids and a seabag. So I took him to the airport and kissed him goodbye. I held it together pretty well until I got to the car, and then I bawled. Went home, and the kids, it looked like a Pop-Tart factory had exploded. They just went like butt wild crazy on the Pop-Tarts. There was crumbs everywhere, and juice spilled all over the floor, and I thought to myself, well, this is it. This is going to be my life for the next 2 years. All by myself, wiping up messes and trying to get my kids to behave. And I mean, they're really good kids. They really are. They make great grades. They try hard, but I've got a couple boys that really try my patience sometimes, and that makes it kind of hard. My oldest daughter is very responsible, and I'm so grateful for her. She's a huge help. And like this morning, I told her that I just needed some mommy time, and that's usually what I try to do when he leaves. After I drop him off, or after we see him off, and the emotional roller coaster is kind of starting to settle down, we're starting to get into a routine, I like to hibernate in my room for a couple hours. I don't want the kids to see me cry because it'll just make them anxious and nervous as well. So, laid down for a couple hours this morning, and she was really great. She kept them quiet. They destroyed the house, but they were quiet. And there's always tomorrow and the next day. and the next day to clean up the continuous messes that they make every day. Um, when I came in the door without Houston, they all looked kind of confused. Like, they they all knew that this was coming. We've been talking about it for months. We've been preparing them, trying to help them understand what's going to be happening and the long-term ramifications of this. It's not just like, oh, Daddy's going to be gone for a week or two, and then he can come home and visit, and then he's gone for a week or two. In actuality, it's going to be more like, Daddy's gone for 6 weeks, he's home for 2 days, he's gone for 6 months, home for, 3 or 4 days, and so on like that until this duty assignment is over. I know it'll be good for him because it allows him time to focus on his master's degree he's pursuing through the University of Oklahoma, um, online, and he'll also be able to focus on his work as he needs to without the distraction of having to worry about, you know, doctor's appointments and things that he's had to take on, so much of while I was trying to recuperate from some anxiety issues and some physical problems myself. Um, so today consisted of a pretty normal day. I mean, they played outside and they splashed in the mud and tormented each other, snuck pill bugs into the house and earwigs and like set them loose in the living room, and I'm still finding them. So that was one antic that they did today, and then while we were FaceTiming, Houston and I were FaceTiming this morning, or this evening, I'm sorry, after he got to his hotel, Izzy decided to she was chewing on a piece of gum, and she dropped it in my hair. I'm pretty sure it's still pretty minty fresh, but instead of just like pulling the wad of gum out, because it was still in one piece, it was not like it was ingrained in my hair, she chewed it out. So now I have like this chunk of chewed gummy hair that I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with. No clue. And then Grayson, who was supposed to be taking a bath, the one that we have our psychological and emotional problems with, our 6-year-old, decided that tonight of all nights would be a good night to start up his, what I thought was long forgotten tradition of making toilet paper bombs, which is obviously when you take toilet paper, wet it, and throw it up against the highest ceiling wall that you can, so it makes it really hard for Mommy to get down. So I was really appreciative of that. Plus they made some kind of like toilet paper stew in the bathtub with like the valance from one of the mini blinds and a guitar stand, of all things. I don't know. I'm really hoping this child's going to turn out to be borderline genius, and I just am too dumb to understand the stuff that he does. But right now he just kind of acts like Captain Insano. And that's a little frustrating. But they're all quiet right now, and they're all safe, tucked in their beds for now. Who knows how many I'll have in my bed by morning, because they were already like crying out that they missed their daddy, and he always did the bedtime routine, so it's a lot different for them right now, and for me, it's going to be an interesting 2 years. I hope good interesting. I'm certainly grateful that my parents are going to be close by to help out. We haven't had that luxury before, so that's about all I got for tonight, and I'll try and post more videos as the adventures of a sea wife and 6 kids in a sea bag continues. So, have a good night.